everything. They have the zone read. They run power schemes with options. They run pass options. They run pass run options like you talked about. The game-winning touchdown was a pass run option where he had the first option was a pass to the screen, and the second option is to run the quarterback draw. And then, their RPO game is just they have like a bunch of concepts that you won't see other teams run. Like the touchdown to A.J. Brown was one where they faked throwing to the flat, and then they had A.J. Brown going running the corner route. So they have everything. And then they run a bunch of really unique pin and pull plays with Jason Kelsey leading the way too. So they just have ways to take advantage of numbers wherever they could find an advantage, and that really is their entire offense.
How big is Pop just mentioned Swift? From the last time we saw him, obviously, in the NFC Championship game, they didn't have him. He was in Detroit. Detroit, drafts Gibbs at running back, and they move him over to Philadelphia. How big of an advantage? And look, Sanders isn't bad. They've got depth at running back, but he just adds, to me, a different element to Philadelphia.
Yes, Swift is, I think, a little bit more explosive than Sanders was, and he's just a really, really dynamic running back that kind of fell out of favor with the Lions, and part of it was just being able to stay healthy, and he's been healthy this year, and he just gives them that big home run threat.
Yeah, Sirianni is, because he was in Kansas City with the great Jamal Charles, has likened him to Jamal Charles of his exceptional athleticism and make you miss in space. To me, he's a huge upgrade over Miles Sanders. He's a home run hitter. All right, now we get to the tush push, the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. Are you noticing teams playing Philadelphia differently when you have like a 3rd down and 7? Teams a lot of times will play a sticks defense where it's to the line to gain and forward. But if they get within a yard or a yard and a half, they're going to go forward on 4th down on you. And has anybody given them any resistance on the brotherly shove? And what do you think the Niners do against it? So do teams play them differently, knowing we can't get them into 4th and 1 or 4th and 1.5 because they're going to shove it down our throats on 4th down?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't noticed specifically, but that is a good thing to watch out for, and I'll probably watch out for that on my next film review. But I would imagine, you can't play six defense because you can't just get into a 4th and short and assume they're going to punt, because they're not going to punt. And the only team that I've seen that had some success stopping the tush push was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's because they had Vita Vea, who is one of the best nose tackles in the league. So it's just tough when you don't have a big nose tackle that could shove Jason Kelsey or the left guard into the backfield. And teams have tried a bunch of different ways. They've tried squaring their defensive tackles a little bit more rather than having them play at angles. But I mean, it all starts with the push up front, and they're just so good at getting off the ball low and fast. And then you have the extra push from Hurts, who's able to just kind of get that extra shove when he needs to because he has such strong legs. It's really near impossible play to stop unless you have a superstar nose tackle to me.
Could you put Hargrave on the nose or cock him, shade him, and is Kinlaw involved or Armstead? Would you use Chase Young or Bosa? Hargrave would probably be the best guy, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Hargrave would probably be the best guy, but he's not really known for his power. Maybe Armstead might be the best guy. I think he might be the most powerful of the Niners defensive tackles. So, unfortunately, I don't know if the Niners have the type of defensive lineman that you need to stop the brotherly shove. So they're going to have to try hard to stay out of those situations.
Ted, great stuff as always, man. Thank you so much. We always appreciate work. We'll talk to you soon.
No problem.
Thank you,
man. That is Ted Wynn. Make sure that you check it out. He does a great job. I mean, he covers everything, and then they do a great review with him and Mike Jones and Dan Pompei. So make sure that you check him out and subscribe to The Athletic. It's really good stuff. Lots of film stuff, a lot of good stuff for the eyes. He does a tremendous job. All right, we got a few things for you on our remnants, and then Tolbert is back in town. So we'll do all that coming up next only here on The Sports Leader.
What's trending now?
Trending now.
On KNBR.com.
The secret sauce behind Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk's connection, that story and more, trending right now on the all-new KNBR.com and the new KNBR app.
Listen to the sports leader anywhere, anytime. Download the all-new KNBR app. Now back to Papa and Lund live from the KNBR Casino Matrix studio. Casino Matrix progressive jackpots are here. Where are you? Just drop in. Please play responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
They have that championship medal. That's what they do. They prove it time and time again. They've been 10-1, by the way, 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
A hell of a football coach and a heck of a quarterback. All right, yeah, you have to. But I look at it this way: they're not getting any knockouts. So when you judge teams, you want to knock teams out. All right, it's like a boxer that all he does is he wins by decision. They keep winning by decision, and I'm wondering if there's other teams that have closed the gap and they feel like, hey, you know what? We got that knockout.
That's Rex Ryan. Who was the one going,
Who was that?
I don't know.
Orlovsky? Ryan Clark?
I don't know. Weird. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of that. I don't know if that matters. I mean, the Eagles get by. I think it's the opposite. I think teams who win close games, they're dangerous because they know. But we shall see. We're going to talk about it all week long. Yeah, that's all. That's all.
They're 10-1.
So, a couple of things. Frank Reich, 11 games in Carolina. The last time there was this short of a tenure as a head coach.
Meyer?
Pete McCulley, 9 games as 49ers coach in 1978.
How many Urban Meyer have?
13.
Oh, good call.
So, pretty short for Frank Reich. So he's out for, by the way, consecutive years. I don't know that that's ever been done. That might be.
Matt Rule last year. How many games he last? 5?
Yeah. So he did. So David Tepper's had the Panthers since 2018, and he went fired coach, interim, fired coach, interim, fired coach, interim. And he's going to hire another guy.
And fire an entire staff.
Yeah, they've already, your guy Josh McCown, he's already been fired. Their quarterback's
They
coach.
fired them all?
Their OC's been fired. My gosh, man. So, anyway.
They kept Jim Caldwell, though, right?
They did. He's not going to be the offensive coordinator, but he's going to be like offensive assistant or some kind of thing like that. So, they're keeping him around.
So, Pete McCauley of the Niners in 78 was fired after 9 games?
Yeah, that's the record.
Fred O'Connor was appointed his successor.
And then
so
Walsh.
they had 1 win that year in 78.
That ain't good.
They went 2-14 that year.
Yep.
O.J. Simpson.
Nice trade.
Leading rusher.
That's painful. A couple other quick things. We did not get a chance because we were off the air on Friday to talk about Scott Foster and Chris Paul.
Whoa.
Chris Paul's homecoming. Yeah, that thing's an issue. NBA's got to do something about it.
We have seen Scott Foster. We've read about it for years and years, seeing Chris Paul, and he's got – there was a one-loss record of the Warriors in the playoffs with him as the referee. And I remember Sean Livingston having a real battle with him.
Yep.
But the whole thing with Paul, they got to step in. This is a Joey Crawford, Tim Duncan thing. This is obviously, he brought whatever animosity he had for CP3 into the game. There was the first play, they called an offensive foul on Looney. He thought it was on him. The foul on Durant. It was just weird, John, is that he went and Steve was saying, just walk away. Just walk away. Just don't stand there and engage him. Your job is to be invisible. Nobody came here to watch you officiate the game. But Paul wouldn't let it go. So here's the issue. If the Warriors make the playoffs, and we think they'll make the playoffs, and he gets assigned to a playoff game, how do you handle this? It's a problem.
The NBA can't have it. I mean,
he cannot officiate any Warrior playoff games?
He shouldn't. I mean, that was personal. That was personal. And you know what? You should have a longer fuse, too, because the guy's going home. He's in Phoenix. You know, it's a homecoming thing. I mean, he's been on a million teams, but the last team he played on was Phoenix. I mean, let the guy – come on.
He did go a long way. Yeah. Paul just kept talking. I mean, it lasted a long time. Richard Jefferson was setting it up what was going to happen, but to Steve's point, just walk away. Right. Don't stand there and engage him. You're baiting him into getting kicked out.
Yeah, that thing's been going on too long.
That is. I mean, the Warriors have issues with Scott Foster, but now the Chris Paul thing, and then that was a weird game. You know, they just fell apart in the second half. They went to the box and won the triangle, and two of the young guys brought him back into the game. Podziemski, what was he saying to Durant? He got into Durant's face at the end of the game, and he would not back down. I was impressed with that. That guy's tough.
And then as we talk about the Western Conference and who are locks and who's looking really good and who we believe in, we've talked about Minnesota and OKC over the weekend. Strange thing, Josh Giddey, he's being accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a minor, and it's through social media because she posted the photos.
And she's really a minor.
And, and the NBA is looking into that. So as we sit here and say, this team is real, this team is not real, what if Oklahoma City has to play without Josh Giddey? That's going to change things.
I mean, this is bigger than basketball, obviously.
Clearly.
This is a terrible side. Josh Giddey's a young guy himself, but this is 21. Disturbing.
Yeah.
What is going on here? So I don't even know how to respond to that, but he's a talented player. Obviously, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Holmgren, they're skilled, but he's right there. But that story's above and beyond basketball. I have no idea what's going on there. But You're too worried about the conference standings and play-ins and tournaments. And the in-season tournaments, the rage now, John. Them beating San Antonio on Friday night have set it up for them to get in to the next round, the knockout stage, if they can beat Sacramento in Sacramento. It's a lot of money on the line, John. I want them to make the $500,000, the extra guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love it if they could just give it to the guys because these guys make so much money, it doesn't matter to them.
Draymond's back tomorrow night.
Yeah. We'll play those cuts for you. Doesn't seem like he's learned anything, but so we wanted to be able to concentrate on that tomorrow. We were going to be so Niners heaven today. We'll play some of those cuts from his reaction to his press conference coming back.
He learned he's got to be available. Just stay. How many games has he played this year? Of the 17 games, he missed the ankle. He got suspended for 5. He got kicked out of another one. He left another one minute into the game. Has he played half the games this year? No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
Just play.
And finally, the trivia question, years from now, who called the last regular season Pac-12 game? Cal UCLA? That would be our own Dave Fleming.
Dave Fleming.
Along with Brock Osweiler. But Dave Fleming will be the answer.
The Apple Cup didn't make it? It started too early in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't the last one.
Damn,
Cal,
I was hoping
Cal
to be
beat
at
UCLA, and Cal is bowl eligible. So there you go. 82 bowl teams, right? So there you go. Cal bowl eligible. Dave Fleming, last call. Well, you had a good weekend, man. Going up to the Apple Cup, that was a good game.
You got to go see the Kraken, John.
Yeah, that's good.
You got to release the Kraken.
How was that?
I released my Kraken.
You had a good time. Very nice. You were busy. Called that the Seahawks Niners. Went to the Apple Cup. Went to a Kraken game.
Kraken
That's not
game
bad.
on Friday. Jim Armitage took care of me.
You fit some good time in there. Seattle's a great
bit.
food
It was
city
fun.
too, man.
Fun weekend.
It's a good time.
What do we got? Vikings tonight?
Vikings and Bears.
Oh boy, we got to watch this game. This could be a 49er playoff opponent, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. Plus, they could. They've got Detroit 2 more times. So how about they knock out Detroit from so we don't have to watch them, which they're not playing very well, so it may not matter. But yeah, so that is your Monday nighter.
We have a Manning cast tonight.
I don't know if we have a Manning cast. I don't think so. They tend to not do a game like this. I bet they don't. They're not going to do Josh Dobbs versus Josh Fields. Yeah,
Are you joshing?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be. I don't think they're doing that, but I could be wrong. Thanks to Mike Tirico. He was great as always. Ted Wynn, Dante Whitner, any and all interviews at KNBR.com. Tolbert and Copes today. Brent Jones, 350. Matt Mayoko, 450. You going out to practice? You out of here?
I am.
Very nice. All righty.
I am. Bonus practice right now.
Very cool. All right, Pop will be out to practice. He'll give us a full report tomorrow. He's back. Tolbert and Copes right now. Oh, by the way, thanks to Danny. Thanks to Walter. Great guest list today. Tolbert and Copes, and they're back together, and it feels so good. Next, only here on KNBR AM and FM San Francisco, the sports leader at Cumulus Media Station.
I always love the people on social media. You're ripping off Greg Papa. I've also known him for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
So stay in the basement. Let's move on.
The NBA brought him to the Bay, while his co-host was born and raised here.
Adam, that is great co-host work right there. That is amazing. You're lucky to have Adam, Tommy.
Oh, absolutely.
It's time for Tolbert and Copes. Let's get it on! Tom Tolbert.
Yeah, thank you. Now if I could ever get some beer.
And Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland has arrived!
On KNBR 104.5 and 680, the sports leader.
What is shaking? Adam Copeland, Tom Tolbert with you. After a week siesta, chilling, Thanksgiving, football, turkey, brisket, corn, taquitos. Yeah, I said it, taquitos for Thanksgiving. We're going to have Brent Jones on today and Matty Mayoko on today. So, well, a few guests, a lot of football to get to. Lot of football to get to. Little Warriors to get to. And hot stove, not really all that hot right now. What's up, Copes?
What's up, dude? Did you say what? I was putting my headphones on. Did you say taquitos?
Taquitos.
I'm a taquito guy. I gotta put that out there. Jose Olay, or did you make them fresh?
No. They weren't fresh. I don't know if we know how to make taquitos.
No, that's fine.
I'm
Don't bother.
Probably sure we could have.
That's not real scientific, I don't think.
I mean, it was like going to the M. If anybody's ever been to the M buffet in Vegas, it's like a massive, massive buffet. We went there for Thanksgiving one time. I was like, you know what? You guys don't. My mom just won't stop cooking. Like when it's at her house, I'm like, you don't need to get in the kitchen and cook and all. Let's just go
Chill
out.
out, Mom,
go out. So we go to the M, and they got the Thanksgiving section, of course, where you get all your Thanksgiving food, and then they got Mexican, Italian, Chinese, Korean. They got everything there. So it was
they got breakfast probably too. They got pancakes.
I don't know if they had breakfast at that point of the day.
Yeah, they'll mix it up though at the buffet.
They will.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
Swap
they
them
will.
out. Yeah.
So that's kind of what we did. We had the brisket, the turkey, the Mexican corn, taquitos, mashed potatoes, carrots, mac and cheese. Everybody kind of made their own thing, and we just brought it all, sat at the table, and just grubbed. It was a feast. It was actually cool because it wasn't just strictly Thanksgiving stuff, and stuffing, of course. Got to have the stuffing and the gravy. That's a given. But yeah, it was a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, and it was, it's funny because you want a little bit of everything, and then by the time you put it on your plate, well, your plate's never big enough.
No,
it's like
I like that. I like that on Thanksgiving. It's the only time in my eating throughout the year where I'm piling food up on the plate because I've run out of space. I've run out of real estate laterally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I've run out of the diameter of the plate. So you get you're like, you know what? Now it's a 15-story building.
Yeah,
it's
kind of like it's kind of like having JaVale McGee. It's a vertical threat. You need the vertical threat, and so you need to you got to go straight up with the food. Yeah, it's not out, it's up.
And then what goes up has got to come down. You got to put that
exactly.
away. Right?
And it goes down. It goes down, and so yeah, it was.
And what goes up must come
good.
out. Yeah. Right.
It spent the next 3 days eating Thanksgiving food and whatever was left over.
Are you sick of it now?
Kind of sick of it now. I mean, it was literally like. Because I was like, we got all this food, I got to eat it, and the turkey and the stuffing. As soon as the stuffing was gone, I was like, and the gravy, because its stuffing was
giving dinners. You just threw it up on the TV following the Niner game. Everybody was buzzing after the win.